The ideas that gave birth to our nation are the ideas that our nation is resistant to right now, and we should talk about that all the time.
In a world where narratives are shaped by corporations and gatekeepers, independent voices matter more than ever. Badlands Media brings together citizen journalists, researchers, and independent thinkers.
The truth is triggering.
Question the narrative. Explore the facts.
It's authenticity, courage, resilience.
Search for the truth others won't.
It's not about being first or being right.
The information war is changing.
It's about being authentic.
Embrace the friction.
Embrace the friction.
Shut the f*** up.
Authentically and agonizing. Join the movement.
I'm going to say how I feel.
Follow Badlands Media.
This is about the future.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herald here on Badlands Media. I'm your host, Jon Herold, and I hope you're all having a wonderful Monday. It's the Monday after the 4th of July weekend. I had a great, fantastic, I would even say, 4th of July weekend. Had the kids, had family over Saturday, had Ty and JC over. That was awesome. Well, I loved having those guys here because as much as they joke about the mansion and, you know, the butlers and the elevators and all this, you know, just things that come with extraordinary wealth, like we all pretend I have. It's, to me, I think it's nice to have people come and like humanize myself. Most people interact with me through a screen. And then if they're not interacting with me through a screen, it's at our conferences. Like to see me in my element around my kids or my family. It was nice to give somebody that hadn't witnessed that before come in and see that. And to prove that, you know, hey, I'm not a Fed, guys. I proved it this. I feel like I proved it this week, which was great. But no, it was a lot of fun having them here. Today's show, we might actually talk a little bit about soccer for a little bit. And I hate to admit this, but I'll talk about it more in a little bit. But I hate to admit it. I'm kind of digging watching soccer now. The World Cup games. I don't think I could get into like anything but the World Cup, but I'm finding myself watching World Cup games even when the U.S. isn't playing. There's a lot of things about soccer I still don't like. I just want to make sure I say that. But when there's not much else in terms of sports on, I'm finding myself watching soccer. It's kind of crazy. Got into it a little bit. We're going to talk about DOGE, and I had a post this week or yesterday even about DOGE because it's officially shut down now, and we'll get into it. But there's this weird, obsessive, like protective behavior that people have towards DOGE, and it's a pattern that we see with other things in the info war too. And I want to have just an honest conversation about it. Okay, like I'm not trying to blackpill or doom. But that's what I get accused of when I just post factual information about something. And what does that mean about the information itself and the people who accuse me of that when I'm just talking facts? Didn't offer my opinion on this post that I put on social media at all. Yeah, I get called a doomer, a blackpiller over, and it's just this weird behavior I want to kind of dive into with you guys. A couple other random things. Not a whole lot of news on a Monday morning after the 4th of July weekend, but we'll see what happens. Reef Fletcher. Hey, John, with love from the Netherlands. Holy cow. That's awesome. Welcome from North Dakota. Yeah, we'll get a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll just see where the day takes us, see where you guys take us. But the DOGE conversation especially, I do want that to be a give and take. Like, I'm going to have my spiel and my rant, but I want your guys' thoughts on it. And I want, there's certain responses to that conversation that I already know are coming. And I'm going to ask you guys if you are thinking like based on facts and things we know, or if you are wishfully like hoping and speculating based on things we have no idea about. Because that's most of where the rebuttals and the people calling me like a doomer and a black pillar about things, that's where it comes from. It's like, oh, well, you're just not trusting the plan hard enough. That's essentially the theme of it. And so if there's proof and things that you guys can show me about certain aspects of this conversation, I think it'd be great. But we'll get into it. Dodgeball was the best in sport ever invented. I could probably get down with that. Lance 2002 for $5. Thank you so much. Says some people's feelings don't care about facts. Yeah, it sucks that the facts don't care about your feelings quote has to be attributed to Ben Shapiro because it's a great quote, but Ben Shapiro sucks. So we do need to figure out a better quote that we can attribute to me, badquotes.com, instead of him. Let's get a quick word from our sponsors. And first up, we have MyPillow. I hope we do have the new MyPillow in here. MyPillow.com, guys. Promo code Badlands.
MyPillow's second annual mega sale is finally here. Get our patented premium MyPillows that adjust to your exact individual needs to give you the best sleep of your life.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
Now for the lowest price ever. Kings, $19.98. Queens, only $18.98. And Giza Dream bed sheets, the best sheets in history, for as low as $29.98. Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, towels that actually dry you. What a concept! Now only $39.98. And our made in the USA mattresses and mattress toppers as low as $99.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But that's not all. Order right now and we'll ship your order absolutely free.
MyPillow.com, promo code Badlands. Lots of talk in the chat about Ben Shapiro. Ash says, Ben Shapiro is a secret white hat. John, you're not trusting the plan again. I know I don't trust the plan enough. I'm well aware. But I feel like minimum requirement to be a white hat is like the eyebrow situation. You can't have that. I feel like they'd at least like trim it down or, get rid of the unibrow thing that he had going on for a little bit. There's just no way. But whatever. Fix Bayonet says lotion doesn't care about your friction. I like that. I like the idea behind it. But doesn't that make the lotion not important? The lotion is very important. So I don't know. Unexpected Girl says, glad that wasn't love from the nether regions. Kind of wish it was. Anyway, we do have one more quick sponsor, softdisclosure.com. And then we'll get to our final sponsor a little later in the show. I won't play the 3-minute ad, even though it's amazing, but that sale is now over. But that doesn't mean we're done selling lotion. We have so much lotion to sell. And we're very excited to sell it to you because our products are incredible. Our story is awesome. And you're supporting Badlands Media with every purchase.
One hero, one mission, to deliver softness to America.
No, Chi-Chi, we can't stop for snacks, dude. We have to deliver all of these soft disclosure gift cards.
He goes by Zach Payne.
The motion detector.
Hey, stop fighting over the beer brush.
Life finds a way.
Hydrate your elbows, moisturize your soul. Feel the rhythm together. Makes you feel alive and let the lotion roll. Soft disclosure, hear the cry. Maximum softness, do or die.
Muffin, hit it.
Okay, guys, I lied, and I hate myself for lying to you because I promised I would never do that. But it was a mistake. It wasn't like an intentional lie. I told you that the sale from the 4th of July weekend for soft disclosure was done, ended yesterday, but that's the lie. It's going through today. We extended it one more day. Promo code 1776. You get 17.76% off. Thank you to Ash for correcting me on that. But like I said, guys, America First product. You're supporting Badlands Media with every purchase. And I think the most surprising thing, like that alone is enough for some people people want to support us. They like getting something in return. So like, hey, we'll buy lotion, we'll buy beard oil, we'll buy deodorant. But the most surprising thing I think that people find is when they actually purchase the product is the products are incredible. It's the best lotion you'll find. It's the beard oil is incredible. The deodorant, it's a game changer. We were actually talking about this with my neighbors. So Blowtorch Kids' parents, and Ty and Jason can vouch for this. They came over this weekend. We were talking about like what I do. Because we were out there with the Chef IQ stuff. Like we grilled the steaks and the chicken with the Chef IQ. We had our little slushy machine. We had the ice maker going. We were talking about that stuff. And then they started asking questions about Badlands. And then like how I got into it. And I was telling that story. And then we somehow got to the fact that I'm like a lotion Ayatollah, a founding father of lotion, a lotion baron. Like it just naturally comes up in most conversations. I try to bring it up. And then I went and got products and was giving it to him. And we were talking about the deodorant. And the neighbor lady, like she uses more all natural stuff. The husband doesn't. I was like, it's incredible. Like when I first started using the soft disclosure deodorant in August of 2025, when it first came out, okay, the first couple of days, I honestly got a little worried. I was like, I feel like I smell worse. But then after that, like about the third day, that went away, and I can literally go days without wearing deodorant, and I don't smell at all. Like the switch to the natural deodorant. I mean, not that I do that. I have done it on accident. My girlfriend's done it a few times, also on accident. But the smell's gone. It's incredible. And then when you add the mint in there, it's amazing. It lasts so long. I got the first deodorant stick in August of 2025, and I just got my second stick again, like started using a new stick like 2 months ago. It was like 8 or 9 months or something crazy that one stick lasted. The deodorant's incredible. Okay, sorry. I'll stop ranting about our products, but seriously, check it out. Softdisclosure.com, promo code 1776. And if you doubt me, that's fine. But don't doubt the hundreds of reviews on that website for all the products. Go check them out for yourself. All right. I'm going to do this a little out of order than what I normally do. Normally I start with DOGE, but I want that to be the last update I do. We're going to start with fuel prices and just show the national average right now. Today is $3.79. CanCon was only off by about $1. What is that? $1.40. So he was close. Yesterday's average was $3.80. So he was off by $1.40. You know, is what it is. It was only prediction. It wasn't a bet, but he predicted $2.40 by July 4th. Didn't happen. I win. I won. It is what it is. Anyway, gold is at $41.70. Silver is at $62.57. Bitcoin is up above 63. It's at 63.8. It's approaching 64 right now. We'll see what happens. But all right, let's get into Doge. So I don't know if I'm going to include this as part of my show moving forward, because as of July 4th, if you guys remember the executive order from, it was like very early on, the creation of Doge. Let me actually go to the White House website and find this. Department of Government. Oh, come on. Efficiency. Well, no, why can't I find this executive order? Maybe if I just type Doge. Here we go. Implementing the President's Department of Government Efficiency Cost Efficiency Initiative. This was set to expire on July 4th. What the heck? Why is it not in here? Oh, whatever. I thought it was in here. The termination of it. But it ended yesterday. You know what? I have the Twitter post for it. That'll work. Let me pull that up instead. Because this is the Twitter post that everybody got mad at me about. Where did I put it? Right here. The establishment this DOGE service temporary organization shall terminate on July 4th, 2026. So the DOGE service temporary, whatever, it's done as of yesterday or Saturday. Over the course of its life, according to their own information, their website's information, the estimated savings are $215 billion, about $1,300 per taxpayer. I want to go out on a limb here and say that I have dedicated more time to covering DOGE and the DOGE updates than literally anybody else on the internet. Ever since they launched the website, I have done a daily update of this thing every show. And I doubt you can find a single other person that has done that. Now, most of the time, there wasn't much to talk about because they hadn't updated the website in a long time. Like, for instance, since January 1st of this year, there was no update. But still, technically speaking, I have given them more credit, more airtime than anybody else. Is that fair to say? I think that's fair to say. Okay. So moving on from there, this was my post. DOGE has officially expired. The website savings had not been updated since January 1st of 2026. All facts so far. While DOGE claimed to have saved $215 billion, we are still on track to spend $439 billion more in 2026. That's true than we did in 2025. And the deficit is set to increase to $1.85 trillion in 2026, which is $78 billion higher than in 2025. Also true. Facts. Like, these are the government's numbers. I didn't make those numbers up. So to this point, my post is nothing but facts. Then I posed two questions. Are you happy with what DOGE accomplished? Did it live up to expectations? Two simple questions, I might add. But this post was met with mostly people saying, I'm a black pillar. Like, there was a really great comment, and I went out and called a couple people retarded for it. So black pillish, John. More to it than meets the eye. There's another one from this ginger because I just gotta find it. You idiots. Their job was to install AI software so agencies could cross-communicate and so transactions can be verified as legit. Your incessant whining and refusal to recognize the good is old and boring. Again, I've given more credit to them, to DOGE, just by giving them airtime than anybody else. But I've always had a different take on DOGE, as I do a lot of things, than most people. People looked at DOGE as if it was this like all-powerful, all-saving operation, and DOGE alone is going to save the government. Okay, there was so much fanfare around the implementation of DOGE. But if you guys remember, Trump wasn't the one who had the idea for DOGE. Elon Musk brought up the idea of, like, he wanted to start a government efficiency commission. And then somebody on Twitter was like, you should call it DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. He's like, yes, I love that. I will take up the mantle and lead it or whatever. And then Trump's like, yeah, okay, whatever, let's do it. Like, it wasn't Trump's idea. It wasn't part of some secret plan to reform the government, save us all this money. Whatever Trump's plans were and are to expose the fraud and make the government more efficient and implement all this like AI software all over the place to, to make the government communicate more efficient, all those things. All that was going to happen whether DOGE existed or not. Like, do you understand that? Like, maybe DOGE was just a convenient cover story for some of this stuff. But it's not like, had Elon Musk not thought of DOGE and then like somebody on the internet on Twitter is like, yeah, you should name it this, and him, like, it's not like it wouldn't have happened. These things that we're told are happening would have happened regardless. And that's what I don't get about why people are so protective of it. It didn't even come from Trump. But this is the type of behavior we see with a lot of different things in the truth community, in the info war. The Q drops are one of them. Like you're not allowed to criticize something or even post facts that don't shed a good light on whatever's happening. Like you're not allowed to do it. Some people will lash out at you, and these are the cheerleaders for sure. The cheerleaders do not like negative information. They accuse you of blackpilling, or you just don't understand the bigger picture or what's going on, which I think is silly too, because I've dedicated my life to like taking in information. I'm not going to be right about everything. I'm not going to know everything. I never claim to, but I still have a pretty good idea of what's going on. And so it's just so silly to me to see such harsh negative reactions to somebody talking about something factually. The DOGE story and the way it was built up, like you could even look at this, and I think you should look at this multiple ways. Just like with the Epstein stuff, everybody looked at Epstein like, oh yeah, Trump's going to expose the Epstein files. He never said that. It was something that was built up by other people, and then it was like an op against him, in my opinion. It is very possible the DOGE thing was too, because guess what? The promise around DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, the very viral sides of DOGE, was that it was going to save us $2 trillion by cutting down on government efficiency. Trump talks about that number himself. Like, if we just get rid of the fraud, we can balance the budget. If we get rid of half the fraud, we can balance the budget, which will make the fraud like over $3 trillion. He talks about that. But when he talks about that, he doesn't talk about DOGE doing it. He never has. DOGE has been its own separate thing. And it was built up to like this huge monolithic, like, this is going to be what saves the government. And then it fell flat on its face fairly early on. Elon Musk like up and left it. That's just how it happened. And like talking about that and being honest about how it went down, it's okay to do that. And it doesn't make me a blackpiller, because I still see moves being made to expose a lot of these things. But like DOGE being implemented and like installed on all the computers to like make the government, those things were going to happen and probably already were in place. Like, how long has Palantir been in our government? A long time. And those stories came very early on that they were like in everywhere, connecting all the data. Maybe they did attach it to DOGE. I don't know. I don't remember. But it would have happened whether DOGE existed or not. So I just don't get why people get so attached to the TV characters and then like these stories that were told. Because when you look at something, like the gas prices are another good one. Like, yeah, I want the gas prices to be cheap. Yeah, it's great that gas prices are coming down. Nobody wants to pay more for gas than they have to. I want the economy to be good. I want like things for the average everyday American to be great. But like talking about the fact that some of those things aren't happening yet or right now, that doesn't make me a blackpiller. That makes me a truth teller. And then the people who claim to be those things get upset at the people who are actually telling the truth about the situation, because for whatever reason, they think negativity is going to disrupt whatever goal they think is being accomplished. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. I just wish we could be honest about things without accusing others of either like blackpilling or being a fed or like trying to hijack a narrative. The pursuit of truth should always be most important. And we've become so addicted to, and not everybody, and I know maybe I'm preaching to the choir here with our chat, but I know there's probably some people in the chat, Ash, who's, disagreeing with some of the things I'm saying. But so many people have become so addicted to hopium that it's like, how do I phrase this? Because when you're addicted to hopium, you're going to go to the sources that give you that hopium. And whatever, you want to do that, that's fine. You do you. I'm never going to tell anybody they shouldn't watch other people. In the future, like, there will be people that are exposed as like 100%, like, you will not be able to look at them and see that they aren't liars and like degenerate liars with some of the stuff that they've done, especially against me in Badlands. Like, that stuff will be exposed. If you still choose to watch those people, that's on you. Whatever. I don't care. But then to like go out of your way and get mad at other people because other people aren't also seeking help, it's just such a weird concept, because a lot of it comes from the Q, like the Q decoder followers, not the Q followers, the Q decoder followers. And it's so funny because at the same time that they're preaching, like, oh, we need to wake the masses and, unite and all these things, 3 to 5% won't be awake, but everybody else can be on the same page. They're the most vicious when it comes to attacking other people who don't agree with the Hopium. It's such weird behavior to me. Hopeful theorists. Some of us are just hopeful, John. I'm hopeful too. I'm very hopeful. If I thought there was zero chance that, like, for a better future, I wouldn't be doing. Why would I bother doing this? Or if I thought it was, but that's the thing. I do think there's a better chance. I think we have an active role in it, and so I'm going to keep doing this because this is what I think. Like the Badlands stuff, talking about this stuff, talking about the actual things as they're happening, or as I believe them to be happening. I think that's important. Building communities, I think that's important. If I didn't think it was going to have any effect on anything, I wouldn't bother doing it. But I'm very hopeful. But I'm also a realist. Okay? And the numbers and the things that we have, like, that we're seeing from DOGE, whatever, that is what it is. I didn't come up with those numbers. It's not my fault. I'm going to talk about them. And I think based on what we were sold DOGE was going to be, it, in my opinion, now I'm offering an opinion on it, it did not live up to those expectations. And I didn't even set those expectations. The people who created DOGE did. Elon Musk did. And the people in that orbit. I think we're going to get to that level of savings and exposure. I'm hopeful we'll get there anyway at some point. But I don't think it's going to be done because of DOGE. I think it's going to be done from things outside of DOGE. DOGE was like a cover narrative, cover story, cherry on top type situation. And Trump clearly didn't care that much about it because I don't think he's talked about it in a long time. Does that make sense? Maybe now I'm whining. I don't know. But like, it just, I don't understand it. Miss Rise Tire, I would defend a little. People want actual hope, not hopium. My mom is a great example. She's awake to all the corruption, everything. Without the hope we tell her it's okay to have, she'd be despondent. I'm not saying not to have hope. I've never said not to have hope. But I think there's a difference between being hopeful and being addicted to hopium. Like the fantastical stuff without being hopeful is like seeing a path, but you also have critical thinking to understand that like not everything is part of that path. And this is just my take on it. Where the hopium stuff, that's more like everything is part of the path. Everything is great. Everything is good. We cannot say anything negative because out of all the things that could disrupt the plan, the negativity is the one thing. The realism is the one thing that could do it the most. Don't be realistic. I hope that makes sense. Gator Rob, DOGE wasn't hopium. I'm with Eric Q. Freeman. Spark it up and ignore people you disagree with. Let it chill, dude. But hey, this is the stuff that, like, when things happen in the InfoWar related to me, I'm going to talk about it. It's what my show is about, talking about the things I want to talk about. John, I need to dig up the hearing I heard this on about 2 weeks ago, but it was started that DOGE was finished and basically what was left was being integrated into each department. That is what a lot of people are saying. That is the rumor. Maybe it's true. It's very difficult to prove that. Like most government agencies don't have a DOGE department, but some of the departments where like people were let go. I can't remember which one it was. I was looking this up yesterday when people were up in arms over this. I was looking it up. Like some of the department, like there was a lady who she got let go or like because of DOGE or whatever. She took the paycheck to leave early. They're hiring again. Like they reached out to her and asked her to come back. Like a lot of the agencies are hiring. And we'll see what the actual hiring numbers look like. Because a lot of those are revised and late. But Quiet Coney, John, being attacked for pointing out the obvious should have more people asking why. Exactly. That's why I'm asking. Laura, hey, John gone shipwreck. I did not nearly swear as much as shipwreck. But I think pointing this stuff out needs to be done. And we shouldn't be afraid to do it. I mean, it's going to continue. This behavior of attacking people who are like just trying to talk about the facts and real information as we're given it. If you can even call it real information, that's the other caveat to this. We don't even know. Like I can't go and verify that DOGE saved us $215 billion. I can't do that. Nobody can. It's on a government website that hasn't been updated since January 1st. Okay. We don't know if it's more than that. We don't know if it's less than that. It's just numbers on a screen. Okay. So I don't even know if they're real numbers, but whatever. They're telling us these numbers. So let's talk about the face value, what they're saying. This is what they're giving us at face value. I'm going to talk about it. That should be an acceptable thing to do. And we should be able to have logical discussions. And, you know, it's partially my fault. I'm saying this while like in the response to some of these, I'm like, you're retarded. You're retarded. It's more of a loving thing. But if you're going to come at me, I'm going to come right back at you. Like if you want to come at me and have like a logical, actual, like, hey, let's have a good faith conversation. I'm here for it. Would love to do it, and I won't call you retarded once. But you come at me and call me an idiot and saying all these things, I'm gonna dish it right back. Some people like that, some people don't. PJ Corn, I thought Elon was taking Doge to the moon. Did you get community noted on the post? Harassment community notes? No. Eric E. Freeman, stop blackpilling, John. You guys are ridiculous. Come on, John. Don't you know it's in the Constitution? Said no one ever about Doge. Exactly. Let's see what else. Eric E. Freeman, I'm smoking a fat bowl of Hopium right now. Just be careful. I don't know what can we say? You know, Narcan works on heroin or whatever. What can we say works on Badlands? Badlands works on the Hopium, I think. We bring you back to reality-based discussions. Doge the Pentagon, we all be multimillionaires. Isn't that crazy? Like with the Pentagon, like their goal is to have a clean audit by December 31st of 2028, like 20 days before the new president gets in there. Or maybe it's Trump being reinaugurated. That's the goal. But you think with AI and technology and all this stuff, they would be able to have an audit in less than 2.5 years. That's insane. Phil Scarborough says, my rug won't fly without Hopium. AOB 22 got gas for $3.09 in Ohio. Good for you. Quiet Coney, we have put enough years into this where we should have to have, I think he meant shouldn't have to have Hopium. We should be seeing some results. Whiskey Girl, those people are still watching you, John. Just saying, I know they are. It's so funny. Yesterday, or what day was it? Saturday? It was Saturday. During the it was Saturday. During the our July 4th coverage of, you know, the Freedom 250 celebration at the White House. One of the individuals they're not directly named. They might be directly named. I don't remember. But they'll be, you know, when we have future disclosures of things that have been going on behind the scenes, this person will definitely be part of it. But all of a sudden in the chat to our stream, somebody tried to raid us, like raid our chat, or they came in, they typed like raid, and they put the link of the show, because that's how it works. When you're an admin of a channel, you can go to any show on your channel, you do the /raid and then a link, and that's what raids your audience to a different show. Okay. So if you're not an admin of our channel, you can't do that. And when I do a raid, like as an admin of the channel, it doesn't even show up in the chat. It's just all of a sudden the raid happens. It doesn't show the /raid and the link or anything. The raid starts. But if you're not an admin and you type that in there, like if any one of you tried raiding right now, and you're not an admin, it would show in the chat as the text that you typed, the raid, /raid and the link. Okay. So one of these people posted in our chat the #raid thing, proving they're stalkers. Essentially, they were watching our stream. I'm assuming they just got mixed up and they thought it was his or her own chat, and they meant to type it in there. They accidentally typed it in ours. But it just goes to show that these people still watch everything we do. And I've already known that because like 2 months ago when I talked about part 2 of the video thing coming out, I got a threatening text in the middle of the night, and the guy like emailed and whined and cried to, guy or girl emailed and whined and cried to Rumble with a bunch of stuff. People are pathetic. But it threatened a lawsuit. I should have sued you before, but I'm going to sue you if you put part 2 out. Like if you weren't afraid of stuff being disclosed, why would you threaten to sue somebody? It's silly stuff. Tracy Pager, John, I love your genuine, honest take. That's why I've been here from the beginning. You wouldn't do what you're doing if you weren't hopeful. would be a waste of your time. Hopeful and realistic. That's the dream, guys. Being hopeful and realistic. I want good things to happen in this country for my kids' sake, for my sake, for our sake, just as much as anybody else. But I'm not gonna like not be realistic about it, because that's how the situation gets out of control and worse. If you just sit by and you don't talk about the things as they're actually happening or as you believe them to be happening, that's how they pull one over on you. That's how we got into this situation in the first place. We weren't paying attention. We weren't talking or having the conversations that we were supposed to be having. And we were heavily subverted. Heavily subverted. We were lucky for Trump to come along. So why do we not talk about these things? And especially like, even if you believe that everything is sunshine and rainbows, butterflies, whatever. I mean, I understand there are some people who can't help but think that, like, they have to think that way about everything. Otherwise it's too much, or they black pill out. Even though I think like thinking that way will eventually cause you to black pill out of it. But that's a separate thing. I understand there are people that think that way. But then what's afterwards? Like, there's going to be life after Trump eventually, after the plan eventually. Like that it's not going to go on forever, right? So how do we operate then? However you're going to plan to operate then, like whatever that looks like to you, why would you not just operate that way now? Because however you're going to operate then, that's going to be the situation. Like, okay, this is life. This is how we're supposed to be operating, like operating in truth, operating all these things like realism, first principles. Wouldn't it just make more sense to do that now too, instead of living off the hopium? Miss Rise Attire totally makes sense. I would love to ask General Quast about this for his take on it. That's a good question. Maybe I should get him on the show again. I haven't had him on in a while. Keith O'Higgins, good to see him, man. He left a rant here. There's a couple rants. Oh yeah, we got a few of them here. Let me back up. The final demand says, for $5, thank you very much for the generosity. Q comms decodes leads to more comms decodes. 10 days, 2 more weeks. It's never ending. Really hope you and Alpha have that conversation soon. I want the truth. No more psyops. Yeah, we'll have that soon. I don't know if it'll be this week, but I'm going to reach out to him and we'll line something. Maybe it'll be just its own separate show. I don't know. But I like chatting with Alpha. We don't agree on everything, but we agree on we agree on the ultimate goal. We probably disagree on some of the path to get there. But we respect each other. I like Alpha. He likes me. We're bros. So, yeah, maybe we'll do that as a separate show. I don't know. Keith O'Higgins says, hey, John, if Vivek Ramaswamy had stuck around and DOGE was huge success, would people just call you a brown pillar? Maybe. But isn't that funny? What happened to Vivek? Nobody worships Vivek anymore like they used to when he was in DOGE for a couple minutes before it even started. Max Southwest Patriot, John, when was the first time you heard of quantum technology? Man, I don't know. A long time ago. I think it was even before. I think I had a teacher back in high school who used to talk about quantum technology. But maybe I could be wrong. I feel like I was talking about it or heard about it. I wasn't talking about it. I know nothing about it. I don't know much about it now either. But I remember hearing about it well before I even got to the InfoWar. Herald_Patriot for $4.99. Thank you. Says the Daily Herald is where it's at. Being hopeful without the swearing. Yeah, I've been good about my swearing. You're welcome. You're welcome, America. Get Rob used to enjoy Shipwreck, but can't hear her voice now. I don't get upset. I just don't listen to her. To each her own. Hey, to each their own. If you that's one thing I wish didn't happen. I mean, I understand people's taste change. Whatever. And Shipwreck, I know. I mean, if we're being honest about Shipwreck, and her approach to the InfoWar has not changed. It's just her approach has caused her to have different opinions about certain people and certain things, but her approach hasn't changed. She still wants the same things. She's still calling out the same things. Just now a lot more people don't like that. It's not a her thing. It's the audience thing. But whatever. I get that people, don't always like listening to that stuff or hearing those takes. I respect her for sticking to it though. Definitely. And yeah, I totally understand when people don't want to continue listening to somebody because for whatever reason. The one reason I don't accept is that they fell for lies about the person. Like had the lies not been said, would they have continued listening? There's a good chunk of people out there that I think that's the case. And I'm hopeful that when we do, expose some of the stuff, that they see it and come to their senses, but probably not. If you're willing to fall for that stuff in the first place, you're probably half retarded anyway. What else? John does not live in North Doge Copa. I like that. John developed soft disclosure Rogaine. You're going to need it, bro. John, founding father of Rogaine. Actually, I did need it previously, but I've been using something that has been working really well for me. Like I used to be thinning out really bad. I used to talk about it all the time. You guys used to make fun of me for it sometimes. But I'm on something, and I don't even want to talk about it without them being a sponsor. I'm going to reach out to them and see if I can make them a sponsor. Okay, let's keep going. Buy soft disclosure. So the day. Oh, see, this is interesting. So buy soft disclosure in this chat is the same for $4.99 Bitcoin. Thank you, by the way. Comes up as Herold Patriot, and I know I've seen him do this before. Whoever this is. In this thing. It's weird how that works. Okay, let's move on, though, from this. Filibuster harder, make it funnier, though. Your arrogance level is up there. Alex Jones level. Oh, okay. I see what's happening. He's one of those spies I think we were talking about. Bye-bye. Okay, let's move on. No update on the presidential website, but what I did find this weekend, which was interesting, is I've been calling for the new national resilience strategy and the national continuity policy for a long time now, like months. It's been way overdue. That executive order Trump issued in March of 2025, where he's like, we're going to update this within 90 days. We need the report and all these things. Then we want to put it out. Well, on June 26th or 23rd, I think it was, right before we went to Deadwood, they snuck this on here. And it wasn't even talked about on the web. Like they didn't post about it. They didn't talk about it. They just put it on the website. Probably expected me to find it earlier, but I didn't. But before Saturday's pre-record for the Power Hour, I was just searching because I tend to search in show prep like multiple times per week for this stuff, so if not every day. I just hadn't done it in a while because I hadn't done like a true show prep since Deadwood. And I found it. They have the new national resilience strategy out. Now, I'm not going to go through this in detail. I'm probably not even going to go through it at all. It's not like super, I don't know, super interesting. It's just 8 pages. It just talks about the broad strokes of the new national resilience strategy. There's a couple like cool quotes in here, but it's not like the meat and potatoes like I was kind of hoping. Back when Trump issued Executive Order 13961, December of 2020, the executive order came out with the Federal Mission Resilience Strategy, right? The executive order was Federal Mission Resilience. The strategy was a separate document. That was a ton of meat and potatoes, more specific. This didn't have that, which was a little disappointing. But the national continuity policy is still supposed to be coming out eventually. It's only about a year late now, but eventually we'll see it. So anyway, it's on Twitter, and I'll post the post here for you guys in the chat so you guys can go check it out if you want. It's a pretty easy read and encourage you to do so. But let's go on to this. Putin and Trump held a phone call on U.S. Independence Day to discuss Ukraine, Iran. President Vladimir Putin and President Donald Trump held the 4th phone call of the year on July 4th, marking America's 250th Independence Day. The 85-minute conversation initiated by the United States covered U.S.-Russia relations, the war in Ukraine, Iran, and other international issues. So on July 4th, our Independence Day, Trump made it a point to call Vladimir Putin and spent 85 minutes on the phone with him. It's pretty remarkable. According to the Kremlin, Putin congratulated Trump on Independence Day, staying stronger. Mutually beneficial ties between Russia and the United States would benefit both countries and the broader international community. The leaders reflected on their shared history between their nations, including their lines during World War II, before discussing the war in Ukraine. According to the Kremlin, Trump reaffirmed his commitment to helping end the conflict with Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner continuing mediation efforts and remaining ready to travel to Moscow. I almost forget sometimes that this war is still going on. Like, isn't that nuts? It's been going on for so long, and nobody really talks about it anymore because there's so much other things going on, especially this fight. The Iran-Israel war / peace / war / peace. Trump says Netanyahu requested White House meeting, says he knows who the boss is. President Trump said Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has requested a meeting at the White House, suggesting it could take place as soon as next week after Trump returns from the NATO summit. We get along very good. Netanyahu knows who the boss is, Trump said in a brief phone interview with Axios. The potential meeting would mark the first in-person encounter between the two leaders since their tense Situation Room meeting in February, when Netanyahu reportedly presented a proposal involving a joint strike plan against Iran. We'll see if this actually happens or when it actually happens. But yeah, could be fun times. Let's check Trump's True Social. A couple great pics of the pool. Oh man, we got a lot of pics up here. Oh, that's a cool one. I like that. These are great. The Golden Door from Ellis Island to the White House. Story of America's front door and battle over who walks through it. Interesting. But beyond that, let's talk a little bit about soccer. So as I said, I've been getting a little more into soccer. You know, I started watching with the United States, and I didn't even watch their first couple games, but I watched their, gosh, Ty, what was it? Which game did we watch? I think it was their knockout round game. I actually watched the full game. It's like, okay, I can see the appeal. Like, it's the United States. I like cheering for the United States sports teams, especially when we're beating other countries. I do have issues with soccer itself, like, and it's not even as much the gameplay as I thought it would be, because like they're great athletes. Like it's fairly more fast paced than I thought. Some of it gets a little boring and repetitive, but my complaints and issues with soccer have not changed. Like everybody falling every time and acting like they got shot or something over the minor things. Like, you can see on every replay that 99% of these injuries are faked. I think the most serious injury we've had so far in the World Cup was a guy from England yesterday broke his arm celebrating afterwards, after they got done singing Wonderwall, which, no offense, but kind of offense. What a dumb thing. What a dumb song to like have as we just won, we're going to celebrate as a country, let's sing Wonderwall by Oasis. Like, what? But very England thing to do, whatever. Everybody faking in like injuries and falling all the time just to get a penalty. I hate it. Absolutely drives me nuts. The officiating stuff is so weird too. And the time, like, okay, we're going to give you 10 extra minutes, but maybe more than that if you're almost about to score. Like, most sports, like, okay, well, here's the time the game's over. We're just going to end it there. Like, wouldn't it make more sense to just, okay, like, you control the clock. If a ball goes out of bounds, the clock stops. Okay. If there's somebody injured on the field, the ref blows a whistle, the clock stops. Like, you just keep stopping the clock. And then instead of adding like a vague amount of stoppage time at the end of the thing, just stop the clock. Like most sports do. Basketball, ball goes out of bounds, you stop the clock. Somebody gets injured, ref blows a whistle, clock stops. Football, like all these, do it that way. That way there's no like, you're sitting there at the end of the game waiting to see, okay, well, are they going to score? They have like more chances. How many more chances do they have? I don't know, because nobody but the one guy in the middle, the ref, knows how much stoppage time. Whatever. I'll get off that soapbox. But if you've been paying attention or watching the soccer stuff, this guy on the left, this African American, very talented, probably I think he's our leading goal scorer. He got a red flag at the end or in the middle of the last knockout game we played. And with the red flag, like, not only do you have to come off the field and your team has to play with only 10 players. So it's still kind of cool that we won. It's kind of intense. But you're supposed to be suspended for the next game. Like, you'll still be able to play with 11 players in the next game, but this guy was not supposed to play. And apparently everybody was up in arms about the red flag because they used like video replay to determine it was a red flag when you're not allowed to do that. Like, he was supposed to watch it in real time or something, and they watched it in slow motion. Well, Trump decided to get involved, or at least the White House, his administration decided to get involved in appealing this red flag. And so it's just really funny how everybody's up in arms and upset about Trump and his administration, like, and him using his friendship with the president of FIFA to get this like overturned. Everybody's freaking out. The campaign to keep Vladimir Putin on the field for the United States World Cup run began just minutes after the team's leading goal scorer received a red card that would sideline him for the team's next match. Following Wednesday's victory against Bosnia and Herzegovina, White House FIFA World Cup Task Force Executive Director Andrew Giuliani, remember me and I think Chris Paul talked about him on a Power Hour a long time ago, alerted President Donald Trump to Putin's punishment for a rash tackle, removal from the Bosnia match, and a routine one-match suspension that would keep him out of a must-win encounter against Belgium. Trump and Giuliani had been speaking regularly about the World Cup for months. During the planning stages of the tournament, we can skip that. By Wednesday night, the White House had committed itself to taking action over Putin's red card, which some soccer analysts believe to be a harsh punishment for the infraction. Howard Lutnick was involved, other senior U.S. Soccer Federation officials. The appeal process, whatever, they ruled that this guy could play. World's melting down. I got a clip on it from Trump. I think it's hilarious. I just think it's hilarious that everybody's freaking out about it. Oh, and what's this girl's name? Are these the Dells who donated a bunch of money for the Trump accounts? Because if there is any proof of life on other planets, she alone is it. Look at her.
So I saw the play, and I'm a person that loves sports and was a good athlete, and I understand sports really well, really well. And that wasn't a foul. That wasn't even an infraction. That was two guys running full speed that happened to crash into each other. You can't take your foot and properly place it on somebody else's foot when you're going, no, these were two great athletes that got tangled up. And this referee, who is a little bit suspect, if you check his past, I don't want to say that because I don't like to create controversy, but very suspect. If you'd like, I'll provide you with the past. He made a call that nobody could believe. You know, even people on the other side, they say, "Oh, we got lucky. Wow, that's." And it's very interesting. They say they don't show them in slow motion, and I never realized that. I never heard of that before. That they're not allowed to review in slow motion because it's so different. Because you'll take one little quarter of a second and you'll see that a hand is touching a neck, or you'll see something. Whereas when you see it in fast motion, it will look like two guys collided, which is really what happened. They got sort of entangled. He didn't do anything wrong, and he's our best player or one of our best players. A very vital player, and he gave him a red card. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't think it meant much. Then I started hearing that means he can't play in the next game, at least in the next game. I said, boy, that's a big, if it happened to another player, it would have been unfair. But when they take your best player, or just about, they have some great players, and they say you can't play, that's very unfair. That's, it's one thing to penalize somebody for the game, but how do you penalize them for a game that hasn't been played yet? It's very unfair. You can't do that. So, yes, I asked for a review by FIFA. I spoke to a man who's highly respected, and by the way, whose level of respect has gone up tenfold. And he was good before this started, but he really pushed it in this country. I'm the one that got them to do it. It was not Biden. Biden was asleep. I got him to do it. In fact, it was very sad because I got him to do it. And if the progression was normal, I would have been retired. Now, the Democrats are saying, man, we should have just let him have his way. We would have had him gone. But I said, the saddest thing is I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup.
Funny stuff. And people are talking in the chat. I don't remember who said this, but the guy's anchor baby. That's one thing I don't like about the soccer stuff. Like, the dude didn't live here, doesn't live here. He grew up in another place, but he's like an anchor baby, so he gets to play for us. I mean, yeah, it's great for our whatever sports teams. We'll be better. The competitive side of me is like, yeah, okay, whatever. We'll take them all. But the, America First side of me is like, that's borderline. But this is my favorite meme that's come out so far. It's the guy said, Trump winning us the World Cup. And this came out after it was announced that the red card was overturned. Thought it was hilarious.
At which he won 14 gold medals.
So funny. That would probably get us kicked off of YouTube or a strike over on YouTube, whatever. Our other YouTube channel should be back Wednesday, by the way, before the show starts. I'm thinking, so we'll try to stream that there. Be happy, be kinda. It's the right thing to do. What was I mean to that lady? I mean, I'm sorry. She just looks silly. You know, I get there's a difference between being nice and like being honest. And there's certain situations to be nice to somebody. Like if I ever saw her in person, I wouldn't be like, oh man, why do you look like that? Like, you know, I'd be nice to her. But as a stranger on the internet with a show where I talk about things, I'm going to make a comment on it. And she doesn't care. She's never going to hear it. She's a bajillionaire. Which that's another, like, you're a bajillionaire and you still look like that? Like, give me a break. But yeah, that wasn't very nice of me. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. She, it's my steno teacher used to say he was way before his time. Never claimed to be mature, just adult. No, but your face would show visible disgust when you first saw her. Probably. That's probably true. But guys, like, I don't know if I have anything else to really even talk about today. I knew I was going to spend a lot of time talking about the DOGE stuff, so I hope you guys took that well. I hope I got my point across. I know it's not going to stop. I know in the future I'm going to post something strictly factual without even offering my own opinion on it. Just like, hey, this happened. This is what we're being told happened. And people are going to call me a black pillar for it. It is what it is. I just hope that as like my goal with talking about it like this is that, you know, maybe there are some of you who do that same thing and recognize, do a little self-reflection and recognize that we do that same thing. And it goes both ways, because there are some people out there who have to doom about everything. And that's not good either. I don't think that's a natural thing either. Maybe I should have spent more time talking about that. There's some sort of middle ground here in the info war that we should be striving to find. And the middle ground is the truth. Not everything is bad. That's not the truth. Not everything is sunshine and rainbows. That's not the truth either. The truth is somewhere in the middle. And we should strive to find that with everything. And when we're striving to find that, people are going to attack you for it from both sides. And that's just is how it is. But the more people we have pursuing that middle option, the middle ground, the truth, or as close as we can get to the truth, whatever, that's how we actually move the ball forward. It's not celebrating everything. It's not dooming about everything. It's the pursuit of the truth and operating on first principles. At least that's the world I want to live in. Anyway, with that, guys, I'm going to read one more sponsor, and I'm going to get us out of here and raid you guys over to, I'm going to raid you guys in my chat, the correct chat, over to Ychromes, who I think is live today. But first up, a little Rumble wallet. Quick question. How much control do you have over your money right now? Technology has changed everything, and now it's changing how money works. Crypto started as a niche, but now it's going mainstream. Faster payments, more control, fewer middlemen. This isn't just hype. It's where things are going. And getting started today is easier than you think. With Rumble Wallet, you can buy Bitcoin. You can hold dollar-backed stablecoins. You can even own digital gold backed by real gold, all in one place. It's a non-custodial crypto wallet, which means you, not a bank or a platform, control access to your funds. Setup is super simple. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your debit card, credit card, or bank account and be up and running in minutes. And for a limited time, you can start your wallet with $10 in US stablecoin by downloading the Rumble Wallet and entering my exclusive promo code, Herold10, HEROLD10. When you sign up now, you can even use Rumble Wallet to support your favorite Rumble creators like us here at Badlands directly. So do this now. Scan that QR code, click the link in the description, or go to wallet.rumble.com/Herold, HEROLD, and download that Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set it up, enter promo code Herold10 to get your $10 in US stablecoin. This is a limited time offer, so act now. Take control of your money. Get started with Rumble Wallet today. I highly encourage you to take advantage of free money anytime you can get it. We got a couple of rants that snuck in here. Snowcat Operator gifted a subscription. Thank you so much for that. Badlands Media Fan for $5. What if your endearing retarded calling goes more like, I'm retarded too, want to try to have a discussion? Maybe I could be better about that. I just feel like when people when people jump into your comments, like if I post something, somebody immediately jumps in the comments and calls me an idiot and like all these things. Are you just not trusting the plan hard enough? Like, clearly there's AI DOGE on every computer now saving the world. Like, how do you not see that? Even though there's no proof of that, it's just a story we're told. I feel like they don't have the best intentions, and me responding like that isn't going to get them to want to have a conversation. But I mean, hey, maybe I could try it. Maybe I will try it. Maybe I will try to be more like, okay, well, want to talk about it instead of just immediately calling them retarded. Even though it's a term of endearment for me, they may not know that. I'll think about it. I'll take it under advisement. Badlands Media fan. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you tonight on Baseless Conspiracies. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. But you guys have a great rest of your Monday. And I'll also see you back here again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Daily Herald. Catch you later, all.
Let's get started.
That's what she said.
Oh, that's real good.
Why they stopping me? Stopping me.